Captain Maya Chun had exactly 17 minutes before her world would change forever. She didn't know this as she walked through the main corridor of Forward Operating Base Sentinel, her civilian consultant badge clipped to her collar. The soldiers she passed gave her the usual once-over respectful but distant. She was used to it. Maya had spent 3 months at Sentinel as a communications specialist, debugging their satellite uplink systems. Good money, and a way to keep her mind off everything she'd left behind. The military kept her at arm's length, a contractor never quite part of the family. Tonight was no different. Dr. Chun. Lieutenant Morrison nodded as he passed, his voice professional, but with an invisible wall between them. She smiled back, said nothing. She reached the communications hub at 2,143 hours. The night shift operator, Corporal Davies, barely glanced up from his screen. Equipment's acting up again in Bay 3, he muttered. I'll take a look. Maya grabbed her toolkit and headed down the dimly lit hallway toward the auxiliary bay. That's when the lights flickered. Then the alarms started, not the drill alarms she'd heard a dozen times, but something else entirely. Something urgent and wrong. The red emergency lighting kicked in, bathing everything in crimson. Maya's radio crackled. Morrison's voice, no longer casual. All personnel to defensive positions. This is not a drill. Repeat, and then static. She ran back toward the communications hub. The door was sealed. Through the reinforced glass, she could see Davies frantically working the console, his face pale in the monitor's glow. He saw her, their eyes met for a fraction of a second, and she saw something that made her blood run cold. Pure, unadulterated fear. He mouthed something she couldn't hear through the glass and then hit a button. Every single screen in the room went dark. The base's entire communications array shut down in an instant. Davies, she pounded on the door. What's happening? He didn't answer. Instead, he pulled out a small, non-standard device from his pocket and placed it carefully on the main console. His hands were shaking. Maya's military training from another lifetime kicked in. She'd been Army before she was a contractor, before the incident that ended her career. Her mind raced. Sabotage, hostile infiltration, a coordinated attack. She tried her radio again. Dead silence across all channels. The emergency lighting failed. Complete darkness for 3 heartbeats. When it returned, she was alone in the hallway. Through the window, the communications hub was empty. Davies was gone. Maya ran toward the command center, but every door she passed was sealed. The base had gone into full lockdown. She was trapped in the corridor, her civilian badge useless against military-grade security. Then she heard it, or rather she didn't hear it. The total absence of sound. No footsteps, no voices, no machinery hum. Forward Operating Base Sentinel, home to 300 personnel, had gone completely, impossibly silent. Her hand instinctively went to the dog tag she still wore under her shirt, hidden beneath the civilian contractor's facade. Maybe she'd never really stopped being a soldier. Maybe that's why she was still standing when everyone else had vanished. Maya took a deep breath, pulled the tags out, and made a decision. Civilian or not, she was about to find out what had turned a military base into a tomb. The silence pressed in around her, waiting. And somewhere in that silence, something else was waiting too. If you want to know what happens next to Captain Chun, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. We've got more stories from this universe coming your way, and you won't want to miss a single moment of the mystery. Thanks for watching.